So you're saying Link is the killer? Huh. That's highly unlikely.
I mean, there's not much evidence left, and it just seems really likely that it's him. Link, I'm sorry for this.
No evidence left, you say? I think otherwise.
Huh? There's more evidence?
Yes, I believe so.
I mean, I still think it's Link. Yeah, I still think it's him. What evidence can prove it's not? I mean, maybe if the murder occurred before we went inside, that would mean it's not him. I agree with that. Before I went inside the box, I saw a bloodstain on the first floor of the playroom. I didn't say anything because I was hoping it didn't mean there was a murder. This means that the murder must have occurred before I went inside the box. I guess you're right, Link. Sorry about that.
That's true, and it adds on to another piece of evidence. Yesterday night, when I was guarding the room, I heard some strange sounds coming from it, and I opened the door, but nothing was there. Ooh, maybe someone was in there while you were guarding it. That's what I was thinking too, but how?
How would the killer have gotten inside the room without Meta Knight noticing? Wait a second. What would the killer have used to get inside the room? Aha! I've got it! The killer got inside the room by using the air vents.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about those.
Well, now we've uncovered an entirely new mystery. That's right. Now we have to find out the order of which everything happened. After the killer got inside, what did they do? I've got an idea. Since there were no bloodstains at the bottom floor, I bet the killer killed Blue Knight on the top floor. Thus the bloodstain.
Yeah, that must be the case. There was even a stab wound on his head.
But how were they able to transport him there? Wait a second. Meta Knight, what sound did you hear that made you want to go inside?
Well, at first I heard a little bit of thrashing, but I didn't go in that time. A few minutes later, I heard a bit of talking, then a slice sound. That's when I went inside. When I looked inside, there was nothing, so I just closed the door and went back to guard duty.
That's strange. Why wouldn't you have seen anything? Oh, I think the killer must have gone into the box.
Are you sure? I don't think it was that.
Yeah, I don't think it was that either. I still think it's the box. Me too.
Me too.
I think so too. See, everyone else thinks the killer went inside the box. But that can't be true. I must sway their opinions. The only way the killer got away without Meta Knight noticing was by going inside the box. That can't be true. Meta Knight would have heard the elevator go down. Yeah, he's right. You can't be seen while you're in the box, so that's where the killer went. That's not the only way that you can't be seen.
He's got a point.
Not only that, but the box makes you go into another floor. Meta Knight would have seen a giant gap in the floor. You've got it, Link. The elevator was the only way to go to a different floor. You're forgetting about one thing. The locked door. You've got it. No!
We object your opinion.
Sorry, Bulwark, but it couldn't have been the elevator. First of all, it would have made too much noise. And Meta Knight would have seen a gap in the floor if that was the case. The only logical explanation would be that the killer went inside the locked door. Yup, after thinking about it a second time, I've realized that it wasn't the elevator. Alright then, if you say so. Oh, and by the way, Meta Knight, didn't you say you heard talking while you were guarding the door?
Yes, I did. But I don't know exactly what was being said. If that's the case... Oh, I think I realized something. Get this. Blue Knight talked with the killer and agreed to be murdered.
Wait, what? I mean, think about it. What else could the talking have possibly been?
Blue Knight agreed to be killed? I don't want to believe that, but it looks like I have no other option.
Well, anyways, what do you think the killer did once they were inside the door? Well, if we assume that the locked door on the top floor and the bottom floor were connected, we can assume that the killer went through to get to the bottom floor.
I don't know. I think the killer would have been more cautious, don't you think? What if when I opened the door, the killer rushed inside the locked door? But since they were in the door, they couldn't tell if I was still in the room or not. For precaution, the killer left Blue Knight's body in the locked passageway. Well, at least that's what I think.
Now that you mention that, I think that might actually be the case. So if that's true, why did we see Blue Knight's body at the bottom floor? Well, duh. The killer went back in there later. Maybe some other time during midnight? Bulborb, why would the killer go back inside the room if Meta Knight's guarding it? That's the reason why he left in the first place. Well, then that means the only other option is when we went in to investigate.
Then that means the killer was able to go to the bottom floor without us noticing.
So how was the killer able to go downstairs without anyone noticing?
Well, we already established that it wasn't linked, so it couldn't have been through the elevator.
So, it must have been to the secret door, right? Yeah, that must be it. But who went inside?
Well, it wasn't me. I was too far away to go inside.
Yeah, it couldn't have been me either. When I heard the crashing sound, I was still upstairs. No, that's wrong.
Bulborb, you said you heard a crashing sound, right?
Yeah, so what?
Bulborb, it appears that you've just dug your own grave. In other words, you've revealed yourself as the killer.
But how can that be? Well, when I went inside the box, everyone who was on the orange platform heard a loud sound and saw blinding light. And that blinding light blocked out all the sounds. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything else but that since my ears were ringing.
And you said you heard the crashing sound, but how can that be? Whoa, I see. Bulborb went inside the speaker door when we weren't looking. That's why he wasn't affected by the light or the sound. This is all being misunderstanding, guys. It was a slip of the tongue, that's all. I mean, you never know. He might have just messed up what he said.
Well, there's only one way to find out. If you were affected by a light, Bulborb, then how did it look like? How did the sound sound like?
It was red. And the sound was low-pitched and static.
Huh?
What? I'm sorry, Bulborb, but you're lying. The sound was high-pitched and the light was white. Come on, guys. It's all a big misunderstanding, right? I trusted you. I tried saving you. We tried saving you. You know I'm too stupid to come up with a plan like that. You know Blue Knight wouldn't let his life down like that. I'm so stupid. No, you're stupid. We're trying to save you. Blue Knight's sacrifice will not go to waste. That's why you can't vote for me as the Blackened.
Well, tough luck, Bulwark. If you didn't say that you heard the crashing sound, it would have been a perfect murder.
He tried saving you? What does he mean by that?
I refuse to take your accusations. I'm not the killer. I'm too stupid to be the killer. You know I'm stupid. You know I'm dumb. Then what kind of murder could I possibly done?
Stupid or not, you're still the killer. You got past Meta Knight and went to kill Blue Knight.
There was no evidence that points to me. A mistake in my words cannot possibly be proved.
That's where you're wrong because it actually can. You didn't see the light nor hear the sound.
Stupid, you're just stupid. Blue Knight wouldn't give up his life like that.
Sorry, Bulwark. I hate to doubt you, but it's the only way we can reach the truth.
If I was the killer, then why would I want to kill Blue Knight?
It ends here.
No!
Well, I think I know the reason why you killed Blue Knight. But to tell you guys that, I've got a confession to make.
Oh, what is it?
After we left the trial room from Pink Knight's case, I heard strange noises coming from the room. When I went back inside, it was switched into the playroom. I went inside one of the boxes and I found something. In that box was a secret room with a video in it and a note. And now that I look back to it, there was a key in there too. That must be how the killer was able to access the secret door. And what was in the video, I don't really want to talk about. But that video, I think, is what Monokuma has been trying to have us find this whole time. The motive.
That's right! Link found it before anyone else did!
This video and the note attached to it didn't really affect me too much. But I'm pretty sure it did affect someone else, thus the murder occurring. So that motive video was why you killed Blue Knight, Bulborb.
But he tried saving me.
Pains me to see Bulborb break down like that. But nonetheless, it proves that the killer is him. Let's go over this one more time, okay? I'm sorry that this hurts you so much, Bulborb, but I'll try summing it up for everyone, okay? This is the truth of the case. This all began on the day after Pink Knight's trial, when Monokuma opened the playroom for us to search for the motive. But not long after, Meta Knight guarded the entrance to the room to prevent another killing from occurring. Determined to find the motive, the victim of the case found another mode of entry into the playroom, the air vents. By going in through the vents, Blue Knight was able to make it past Meta Knight, unnoticed, and into the playroom. Once in the playroom, Blue Knight began searching the boxes for the motive. I imagine that after a few failed attempts, Blue Knight entered the box that led into the secret room, containing the motive. Once inside, Blue Knight saw the motive video and read the note attached to it. At this point, Blue Knight fell for Monokuma's motive and began plotting a murder. But not long after, the killer entered the playroom through the air vents, just as Blue Knight did. It wasn't long before they were both face to face with one another. In desperation, Blue Knight attacked the killer, attempting to murder them. This was the thrashing that Meta Knight said he heard, as the killer somehow managed to survive the Ultimate Knight's attacks. But the killer had done something that made Blue Knight stop.
When the killer knocked Blue Knight back to his senses, they talked for a while, presumably about the motive and Blue Knight's plan to murder someone. But judging by Blue Knight's hesitation to land a hit on the killer, Blue Knight offered his life, so they can commit the murder instead. The killer agreed, and they both got ready to set up the murder. After all preparations were complete, the killer bit into Blue Knight's head with one of their 2 sharp fangs. Since there were no other weapons in the room that were capable of such a wound, the killer's fang is the most likely option. After hearing a slicing sound, Meta Knight figured that he wasn't imagining things and opened the playroom door to investigate. Surprised by the sudden interruption, the killer quickly transported Blue Knight's body away and looked for a place to stay out of sight. With the key Blue Knight obtained in the secret room, the killer opened the locked door and brought the body into the passageway and hid there. Not seeing anything going on, Meta Knight closed the door and went back to guard duty. But from where the killer was, they couldn't tell if Meta Knight was still in the playroom or not. The killer didn't want to take the risk of being caught, so he left the body and some materials for the murder in the locked passageway and would return tomorrow to carry out the plan. The killer ran out of the playroom, hoping Meta Knight wouldn't notice them if he was in the room. The next day, when Meta Knight led us into the playroom, the killer came along with us. As I was going inside the box, the killer snuck past all of us while we were all distracted. Once the killer was far enough, they hurried over to the secret door and got the key they were carrying, just before the blinding light and the loud sound were activated. They followed Blue Knight's plan and got the sturdy toy, placing Blue Knight on it at the right position. Once the deed was done, the killer waited for the platform to move to the bottom floor so they can get on it. The killer got back on the platform as everyone recovered from the light and the sound, the killer's actions completely unknown to us. We all stood in utter shock as Blue Knight's body suddenly lied before us. And the killer knew exactly what they did, but it would have been a perfect crime if not for the few simple words that revealed their identity. The sneaky but sorry killer, the one responsible for Blue Knight's death, is none other than Bulborb, the ultimate baker.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Bulborb.
Bulborb's too innocent. I would have never expected him to do something like this. Just vote for me already.
Wow! Just wow! 20 minutes in, and only now I make my first appearance. Ew, what's wrong with my voice? Well, anyways, who will be chosen as the Blackett?